championship and bring back over 80% of their offense. They're a top 25 mid-major team, according to collegeinsider.com. This is a very good basketball team.
Standout freshman Mustafa Chium wins the tip to give UCF the first possession. Chium off the mark on the three, rebounded by Jalen Jackson.
He's got the soft green light to shoot that three at 7'2". You can see his form. Not many 7'2" players have that kind of energy transfer on their follow-through.
#1 ranked center in the class of 2025. He reclassified to 2024 as Rashid Bello knocks down a triple to open the scoring.
Bello is good. Preseason All-Horizon League. He also was third-team Horizon League last season, averaging almost 15 a game.
Purdue Fort Wayne 1-0, a victory over Division III Bluffton in their opener. Obviously a significant step up in class tonight for the Mastodons. Co-favorites in the Horizon League in the preseason. Bellows pass knocked away. Keyshawn Hall will elevate. Short with the three and another rebound for Jackson.
It's part of that offense for UCF where they want to score within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. You know, taking a good quick shot is fine, but if you're going to take it right away. Don't second guess yourself. When you think too long, you usually miss wrong.
UCF started out missing their first 8 threes in Monday night's game. Maximus Nelson unable to hit from the corner. Jordan Ivory Curry trying to throw it inside to Hall, who wanted it a lot higher. Bounce pass goes over the baseline for a turnover. There's John Kaufman in his 11th year as the Mastodons coach. Most tenured coach in program history, most wins in program history. He has done a phenomenal job, and Johnny Dawkins looking for his 150th win as UCF's head coach tonight. Bello checked by Debo Coleman, eases past him, unable to finish. Hall on the baseline. Good defense played by Eric Mulder. Ball bounces out to UCF, another opportunity. Here's Chium, the freshman, one-on-one with Mulder. Coleman an offensive rebound. His shot blocked. A fourth opportunity. Hall rejected by Nelson.
It's a point of emphasis for UCF in this game. They are going to want to go inside as often as they can. A significant height advantage for UCF.
Quentin Morton Robertson turns it over. Coleman stepping through is fouled.
What's interesting about Debo Coleman, we didn't talk about him much at all. You and I had the call Monday night in that win over 13th ranked Texas A&M. And Debo Coleman played 26 minutes. That's 0 points. When you play that much and you don't score, you know, I think the average fan may say, okay, why are you playing this player? He's a superstar role player for Coach Dawkins. There's no question about it. He's a transfer from Georgia Tech. He only averaged about 6 points a game. Good three-point shooter, career over 35% from three, but he doesn't make mistakes offensively. He doesn't take shots that he's not supposed to. He never misses a defensive assignment, and that's why he's starting and playing over 25 minutes a game. You have to have players like that complementary to someone like Darius Johnson and Jalen Sellers who demand the ball.
Coleman missing both free throws, a guy who was Mr. Basketball in the state of Florida. There's Morton Robertson. He can really shoot it off the mark that time. Morton Robertson made over 100 threes last year, and it'll stay with the Mastodons as Hall's foot hit the sideline. UCF has missed its first 7 shots, also 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Chandler Cutrell in for the first time. And it's thrown away by Corey Hadnot. Ivy Curry spinning. 0 for 8 now for UCF.
This is a eerily similar start for UCF as the Texas A&M game on Monday. A slow start offensively. Coach Dawkins went to the bench pretty quickly in that game, which actually ignited the offense and kind of changed the flow of the start to the game on Monday.
J.J. Taylor, sophomore transfer from Memphis, came in to provide a lift in the first half and was huge down the stretch. Made a number of key plays in the final 90 seconds to help UCF come from behind to beat Texas A&M. Coleman spinning, had it stolen away by Bello.
That's where Jordan Ivy Curry has to be screaming. There's help, help, help coming your way, so you can identify on that spin move if there's a defender in the gap. Good job by Purdue Fort Wayne attacking.
High arcing three, in and out from Hadnot. Hall in attack mode. Great ball movement. Darius Johnson tees up a three. Knights still without a point. Out of bounds to Purdue Fort Wayne. 4.5 minutes in. Only bucket so far is a Rashid Bello three. Cold start for both teams. Back in Orlando, Purdue Fort Wayne coach John Kaufman has strong ties to UCF. That story with the third member of our crew over on the sideline. Here's Josie Ert.
So like you guys were saying, John Kaufman has deep ties to the Central Florida area. Not only was he the Stetson men's assistant basketball coach, but his wife Tracy was the UCF softball pitching coach from 2005 to 2008. Tracy helped lead the Knights to regional play in 2008, where they unfortunately fell to the Gators in a double elimination round, all while she was 7 months pregnant with their oldest son, Tommy. The two are now a coaching couple at Purdue Fort FW, continuing their careers in their respective sports. Mike, you played at UCF when John was coaching at Stetson, right?
That's right. And that's a great story, and Coach Kaufman actually, we caught up before shoot-around. He recruited me when he was at Stetson, and when I was at UCF, I also played against Coach Kaufman when he was an assistant at Stetson, and pretty interesting. I don't know how often I get to say this. I had a chance to play against Coach Dawkins when he was an assistant at Duke, and playing against Coach Kaufman when he was an assistant at Stetson. And for all you UCF fans out there, Coach Kaufman actually coached alongside Torchy Clark's grandson, J.P. Clark, while they were both at Colgate as well. A lot of UCF connections.
Torchy Clark, UCF legend, As the UCF defense forces a shot clock violation. Really enjoyed our conversation with Coach Kaufman. Played basketball at Washington and Lee, has degrees in economics and geology. Can't say I've ever heard of those majors from another basketball coach.
I can't even spell economics.
Hall driving the baseline, stepped out of bounds.
This is when, on Monday, where UCF changed the rhythm of the game. They went to a little bit of a press. They subbed in J.J. Taylor, and things started to flow and started to attack more at the rim. Purdue Fort Wayne is not afraid of UCF at all. They have been there before multiple times.
Mastodons turn it over for the 5th time. Keyshawn Hall mishandles. And we talked at the very top of the broadcast. One of the things Johnny Dawkins told us at shoot-around is that you have to fight human nature to not have a letdown following a win like they had on Monday night.
Purdue Fort Wayne won 23 games last season. They started the season 11-1, including a win over DePaul. They got to the championship game of the CIT postseason tournament, and they are a very fast and connected team. They had top 40 tempo in the country last season. They make threes, they're unselfish, and they play very fast, which makes them an exceptionally dangerous mid-major team.
Quentin Morton-Robertson with the triple there. Made more than 100 of those a year ago. Hall driving the baseline, draws a foul.
Now, I know exactly what that drive was from Keyshawn Hall. UCF has had no continuity on offense. They had one play where they swung it 4 times in a row and got a fairly clean look from 3 from Darius Johnson. He missed it. But Keyshawn Hall is wired in a way in which if things aren't going well, I'm going to attack the rim, and I'm either getting a bucket or I'm going to the free throw line. And that's what we're seeing right now. He just has that fearlessness about his game that Coach Dawkins loves.
Hall, 6'7" junior, transfer from George Mason. Started his college career at UNLV. Lefty goes 2 for 2 at the line. And nearly 6.5 minutes in, UCF is on the board.
Tough drive.
Jackson couldn't finish. Not all the way to the rim, missed the easy part. J.J. Taylor fouled on the baseline. That'll be on the pass. Foul on Maximus Nelson, his first, team's 3rd.
Things just happen offensively when J.J. Taylor checks into the game. He's just always sprinting in transition, looking to attack the rim. That's what got UCF kind of out of that funk against Texas A&M in the first 5 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, you're really similar to what we saw on Monday night. Dior Johnson may have gotten away with a double dribble.
He absolutely did get away with a double dribble.
Darius Johnson, tough drive. So good when he's able to get downhill.
Most players get pushed off of their line, their downhill drives. It's very difficult to push Darius Johnson off because of his strength and pace when he drives.
Jackson into Rukus Yotsus.
Hesitation, a quick hip swivel, and then you see at the very end where he changes the angle of his legs and his hips to give himself a better line of sight. It happens so fast. That's what the elite scorers do.
Good denial by Yotsus. Mastodons will have to throw it in again. Purdue Fort Wayne 2 for 9. Both of their field goals are threes. They've turned it over 5 times. An experienced team brought back more than 80% of their scoring from a season ago. Shot clock running down. Jackson got it off but couldn't finish. And the ball ends up staying at this end of the floor. Trey Lewis sensing an opening, swatted away by Benny Williams.
I'm not sure you could even call that a swat. This was a volleyball spike. Oh, man. Probably should have. He was so high up in the air, and he timed that up so well, he could have just grabbed it.
Williams, the transfer from Syracuse, who had a huge bucket. Only one basket, but it came with 45 seconds left and gave UCF the lead here on Monday night. Shot clock again under 5. Got to put it up. A rainmaker that doesn't hit the rim. Shot clock violation. Second one of the game delivered by this UCF defense. Niels Mahovsky in, down low, Yotsu steps through a double team. Not exactly what he wanted to do, but it went through the bucket for 2 points.
It was the first time the defense for Purdue Fort Wayne, their gap help defense failed them. Just a little too late, helping on Yotsus.
Jackson splits defenders. Trey Lewis, long with the 3. Mahovsky unable to keep the errant pass. Purdue Fort Wayne and UCF have combined for 12 points and 12 turnovers so far, and we're almost 9 minutes into the game.
This has not been a clean first half start to the game for either team. Purdue Fort Wayne deserves an enormous amount of credit defensively. There's been great on-ball activity, disrupting the rhythm of UCF offensively, and I think their help defense, particularly one pass away in the gap defense, sitting in between the ball and their man, stunting, trying to make it uncomfortable. Mastodons have executed the defensive game plan very well.
Jackson opts to give it up. Bellow, step back 3. Around and out. Both teams spending a lot more time on their half-court offense than they'd like. Benny Williams got a step and took advantage. UCF leads for the first time. They've scored the last 8. A run that's lasted almost 3 minutes. Ivy Curry with a steal. Mahovsky gets a dunk.
That was a gift for UCF because that should have been a backcourt violation and play should have stopped.
Chance Moore was right there with his eyes on it. One of our 3 officials. Allowed play to continue. Bellow, quick hands from Coleman. He's going to be whistled for a foul.
Yeah, his foot is on the half-court line, barely. Should have been a backcourt violation. That left foot tries to knock it out of bounds. Coach Dawkins and the UCF coaching staff were very high on Niels Mahovsky coming into this season. They thought he had the best summer of any player on the team. Had 24 points in an inter-squad scrimmage and really is becoming the start of a real backup point guard role for Coach Dawkins.
He spent much of the summer playing with the national team in Germany, his home country. And it showed with his work in the preseason. Eric Mulder had the putback dunk. Purdue Fort Wayne, first bucket in nearly 5 minutes. That ends a 10-0 UCF run. Lob from Ivy Curry up top to Chium. Missed the first one, not the second.
That's what he's going to be really good at. This time, potentially in February, he's going to be catching that and dunking it, still finding his rhythm. But you could see the presence of mind to catch it under control.
UCF started 0 for 9. They've made 5 of their last 6.
And this is just pick and roll action right in the middle of the floor. It's an excellent lob pass from Ivy Curry as well. And I mean, that's one of those situations where you throw it up anywhere near the rim. 7'2" Chiem, he can go get it. Gives you great confidence as a point guard.
He had 6 blocks in the game on Monday night against Texas A&M. Mahovsky follows up the miss and gets fouled. Johnny Dawkins said of Mustafa, he had great energy. Wish they could have gotten him the ball a little bit more offensively.
And that'll come with time, but you also have to look at, he was going against the front court of Texas A&M, which really outside of Houston and Iowa State, may be the most physical front court in college basketball, right? So it's a top 5 physical and talented front court, especially defensively in college basketball. You want to talk about being thrown to the fire. Chiem was excellent in that game with 6 blocks, had a nice turnaround mid-range jumper. This is a really interesting lineup for UCF. You've got 3 legitimate point guards on the floor at the same time. Darius Johnson, Jordan Ivy Curry, and Niels Mahovsky. You've got a versatile combo wing in Keyshawn Hall, and you've got a true center in Mustafa Chiem. It'll be interesting to see how the offense flows with this lineup. We didn't see this lineup on Monday.
Bello turns the corner.
Nice pass.
Underneath Mulder.
Bello's going to have a really good year. He's just an excellent playmaking point guard. Can score, can pass, can defend at a high level.
Mahovsky rips a 3 from the right wing. 6 points for Niels Mahovsky. He leads all scorers. Bello. Long with the 3. Mulder went up with Chiem. Ball ends up in the hands of Mahovsky. Look at the result Monday night. Started the game 0 for 8. 14 of 33 from the floor. And 6 of 8 since the 0 for 9 start here tonight.
UCF held Wade Taylor, preseason All-American, to just 13 points. And UCF had 10 blocks as a team. Mustafa Chiem had 6 of those. They only had 2 games all of last season with at least 10 blocks. I mean, nobody expected the front court of UCF to perform like they did Monday night, and they exceeded expectations. And a lot of it has to do with that man at the free throw line, the young 7'2" freshman, Mustafa Chiem.
And it creates so much excitement about what Chiem could be. It's easy to lose track of the fact that we mentioned he reclassified from the class of 25 to the class of 24. He's not yet 19 years old. The upside is huge.
Should be getting ready for the prom right now. Not lining up against Texas A&M's front court. He was the #1 center, in 2025, the class that he reclassified. Look at that block right on cue.
Incredible recovery. Eric Mulder right there to clean it up, and he's fouled.
The speed in which he is able to ball hawk and attack the rim for that block, even though this bucket goes for Purdue Fort Wayne, an impressive show of shot blocking intelligence and speed from the freshman.
7 points now for Eric Mulder, 6'8" junior. Johnson pressured by Hadnot. Hall driving baseline. Some contact in there, no whistle. Ivy Curry with a mid-range jumper. First bucket for Jordan Ivory Curry.
He won't get credit for it, but Niels Mahovsky gets the hockey assist. He got the offensive rebound and he kicked it out immediately. A Draymond Green-like pass quickly to Darius Johnson, who was able to swing it over to Ivy Curry.
Johnson took a swipe at Jalen Jackson from behind. He gets whistled for the foul.
Watch the hockey assist from Mahovsky. Gets the offensive rebound and immediately, there's actually a no-look pass from an offensive rebound. I don't think I don't know if I'm able to properly articulate how hard that is to do. It's not an easy thing. You have to know exactly where your teammate is. You have to have full confidence on where the defense is in order to make a no-look pass from inside the paint out to the three-point line.
And the importance of putting that pass right on the money to allow the offensive flow to continue.
And I think last season, Darius Johnson probably would have shot that. But the extra pass, knowing that he's got more shooters on the perimeter, that helps the offense.
Offense is definitely starting to figure it out.
There's another one.
Ivy Curry, unable to hit the three. J.J. Taylor, an offensive rebound. Hall right at Nelson. Ivy Curry, another chance. Off the top of the backboard, Chium has it end up right in his hand, and he's able to finish.
And that offensive rebound was actually kept alive by the hustle play of J.J. Taylor.
Said that a lot on Monday night. Taylor continuing to contribute in a variety of ways. Jackson up and around Chium, no, and then a loose ball foul committed by Mulder.
That's what Mustafa Chium's going to become more and more. If he doesn't block the shots, can he force you to take a shot that you don't practice? That time, Mustafa Chium was all the way on the three-point line, and Jalen Jackson, number one for Purdue Fort Wayne, tried to take advantage of that to go past him. But Chium shuffled his feet, slid and attacked, and got in front and forced Jackson to throw a fadeaway left-handed shot. Jackson's right-handed.
One of the things we talked about with John Kaufman at Purdue Fort Wayne shoot-around today was that he said, we can run our offense really well, but the size and the length of UCF means that shots we would normally have at the rim or plays we'd be able to finish are going to be significantly more difficult.
And that's why extra passes along the baseline in the paint are so important for the Mastodons tonight. He can shoot that.
Late release there from Morton Robertson. Taylor through the lane. Ivy Curry gets bumped by Morton Robertson. That's the 7th team foul on Purdue Fort Wayne, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Jordan Ivy Curry. UCF just 4 of 8 from the line so far. As Ivy Curry earns a second.
And that free throw percentage is going to have to increase. It's going to have to get better. And not just for the obvious of making your free throws, but the way that UCF is going to play this season offensively. They're either getting threes or they're going to get stuff at the rim. And if you're hunting for threes, you're hunting for rim attacks, you're going to get fouled. UCF shot 31 free throws against Texas A&M on Monday nights. And Coach Dawkins is looking to press more. So if you're at the free throw line, it's the best way to set up your press.
Quick release from Maximus Nelson. 91% of Nelson's field goal attempts are from three. He pretty much lives behind the three-point line. Yotsus well short. Taylor tracked it down, but stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Nelson shot over 37% from three last season. Had 12 points in their season opening win. All on threes, 4 of 7 from the three-point line.
And so far, 14 of 24 field goal attempts for Purdue Fort Wayne have been from three. They're going to be tough once they get into league play with Nelson, Jalen Jackson, Rasheed Bello, Morton Robertson. Guys can really shoot it, and Eric Mulder is showing he can be a force inside.
Yeah, they can shoot it, but they play so hard, and it's a very unselfish team.
Taylor, quick release. Bello up high for a strong rebound.
You and we talked before the game, this is not a surprising score. Purdue Fort Wayne only down 2. This is a battle-tested, veteran team for Coach Kaufman.
Bello splits a double team. Again, couldn't finish. Bello lost a shoe during that sequence, has to get it back on. Taylor at the other end, nice reverse. Bello puts his shoe back on. Not as successful a defensive possession as he had last year when he lost a shoe and went viral for blocking a shot during a possession against Southern Indiana. 3:34 to go in the first half.
That nearly every Sunday, if you guys will go over to the UCF beach courts and spend some time on the sand. The person who introduced Mustafa to the beach volleyball was his roommate, Pupa. What started as a casual invite became a regular weekend ritual, with the team bonding and getting in some fun competitive play on their days off.
Let me tell you right now, let me tell you something. That's a great inside scoop. I would never want to play volleyball against Mustafa Chiam.
Yeah.
You're losing. It doesn't even matter if you're a pro volleyball player. You're losing that one-on-one battle every time.
That's not my idea of fun.
No. Lining up against Chiam across that net, forget about it, man. I'm nowhere near that.
And Trey Lewis gets a roll.
Find me at the ping pong table.
I'm trying to figure out how, you know, like, you obviously can't get it past him, but you try to get it over him and deep into the court. I mean, you know, he's got the reach to be able to cover everything. Taylor hammered on the way up by Eric Mulder.
He's not playing the libero position.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there really isn't a libero in beach volleyball, but you know.
Yeah, okay. I may have dropped the ball on that one, literally. Thank you, Austin. Apologies.
It's all right. The volleyball fans watching will forgive you, I promise. 2 free throws for Taylor. So what do you think Chiam's reach is? At 7'2", he puts his hands up.
That's a good question. I don't know. What I do know is one of the best strength coaches in the country is Charles Stevenson for UCF. He goes by Rock. And he told me before the season, Chiam put on, after he went through all the preseason workouts, and they put him on a nutrition plan and a weightlifting plan, he put on 18 pounds of muscle. That's a lot of strength in a short period of time. He's only going to get stronger.
Johnny Dawkins talked in the preseason about how he's still adjusting and learning how to carry that muscle, because it is an adjustment.
But he runs exceptionally well. As you can see him sprint the floor. He's posting up hard right now, trying to. It was just a half a second late on that block on that previous possession, traveling.
Trey Lewis with the bucket. UCF turns it over.
That's Charles Stevenson. He goes by Rock because of how tough his nails, and he was actually my strength coach when I was at NC State for a year. He is renowned nationwide as one of the best strength conditioning minds in all of college sports, regardless of the sports.
Boy, he is locked in.
Always.
He's got a chart back there. No one more focused over there on that UCF bench than Rock. Nelson with a 3. He would have given Purdue Fort Wayne the lead. All sizing up Nelson, gives it up Darius Johnson. Unable to get into the paint.
Good defense by Bello.
Ivy Curry, challenge shot, foul on Morton Robertson.
It's really no secret right now for Purdue Fort Wayne defensively. If the guards can keep UCF's guards out of the paint, not able to drive, they get stops. If UCF's guards are able to attack the paint, they either get a bucket, a good look, or a free throw. That is absolutely the story of the game in these last 4 or 5 minutes of this first half. It's Purdue Fort Wayne's backcourt, when they're locked in and they're not giving up any drives from the guards, UCF does not get a good look.
Jordan Ivy Curry about to shoot UCF's 14th free throw attempt of this first half. UCF has gotten to the line at a high rate, and they've made 10 of their last 12 at the free throw line. Jackson.
Great kick.
To the corner, baseline drive. Good finish there by Chandler Cutrell.
And Cutrell was able to use a different angle to avoid the Cheam block. Tough play.
Cutrell roommates with Jordan Ivy Curry last year. Both played at UTSA. Cutrell scores at one end, Ivy Curry at the other. The former teammates trade buckets. Back to a 4-point game.
Ivy Curry is the microwave of this team. I don't think anybody on UCF can get hotter quicker than Ivy Curry.
Ivy Curry now above 1,200 points in his career with 8 in the first half tonight. Good looking three from the wing. D'Angelo Elise only scored 2 total points all of last season. A late whistle, but the right one as Jalen Jackson hit Ivy Curry on the way up.
Elise hit that three and turned around and looked at the UCF bench afterwards. Wow.
Elise only played 7 total minutes last year. He came out in a preseason exhibition scrimmage against Notre Dame, scored 10 points. Guy who projects to be a much bigger part of the rotation this year for Purdue Fort Wayne. Darren George at the monitor. Imagine they're checking whether it should be 2 or 3 free throws for Jordan Ivy Curry.
They'll also check to see how much time should be on the clock as well. It's part of the, in the last couple years, the opportunity for replay of referee discretion. You didn't have to go to the monitor there. You chose to go to the monitor to confirm what we're getting right now.
And it is going to be 3 shots for Ivy Curry.
Pretty clear.
No question, both feet behind the line. Second foul on Jalen Jackson. Jackson with 2, Morton Robertson with 2, Eric Mulder with 2 here in the closing moments of the first half. Ivy Curry now in double figures with 10, and he's a perfect 6 of 6 at the free throw line.
Purdue Fort Wayne has matched the speed, the physicality, and the tempo of UCF. I mean, aside from all these free throws that UCF is making, Purdue Fort Wayne has executed their game plan very well.
UCF right now plus 12 at the free throw line. They are 13 of 17. Purdue Fort Wayne has made their only free throw attempt of the game. Nelson underneath. Elise kicks to Hadnot. Counted and the foul. Chium trying to challenge. Made contact. And Corey Hadnot a chance for a 3-point play.
Hadnot, another one of those talented backcourt players for Purdue Fort Wayne. He's excellent at attacking the paint. Shot over 56% from inside the 3-point line last season. Ended up earning Horizon League All-Freshman team.
Another player who John Kaufman thinks will take a big step forward this year. And the type of guy who in college basketball you're seeing more often than not leave to go play for a bigger program.
Yeah.
But John Kaufman has established a tremendous culture with this Mastodons program, able to retain a huge part of his roster from a year ago. Game clock down to 5. Darius Johnson gonna put it up off the front of the rim. Not a great last possession for UCF. And the Knights will head to the locker room with a win in the Horizon League along with Milwaukee. So a team that could very well be in the NCAA tournament come March. UCF has plans to be there as well. Should be an exciting final 20 minutes as the Mastodons have the opening possession of the second half. And immediately a foul committed by Debo Coleman.
You can see how much movement there is offensively for the Mastodons in the half court. They ran some some baseline runner action into zoom, which is just a term for there's a down screen and dribble handoff. It's a lot of NBA type rhythm that they look to create. Nice drive.
Floater from Morton Robertson, guy who almost exclusively is a three-point shooter. That time he puts it on the deck. 5 points for the graduate guard.
He can shoot that.
Chiam off the back rim at the other end. Purdue Fort Wayne looking to add to a 1-point lead. You could sense as the half went on, Purdue Fort Wayne started to get more comfortable offensively. They didn't have as significant a drought as UCF did in the first half. Morton Robertson from deep. Rebound, Mulder, a discard and a bucket. And Eric Mulder continues to have his way inside.
Double figures for Mulder, 11 points for the big fella.
Purdue Fort Wayne comes out of the locker room and gets the first 2 buckets. Hall has it knocked away. Mulder up ahead. Jalen Jackson steps around Ivy Curry. Terrific finish from Jalen Jackson.
What a move. Taking good defense and creating offense. That's what Purdue Fort Wayne did every single game last season.
Mastodons, a 6-0 one. After he bought one, he bought some more. He raised goats throughout high school before college. His dad told him, you got to do something with these goats because I'm not going to raise them while you're at college. He decided he would sell the goats to buy his first car, and he bought a 2012 BMW.
Did we just go from goats to BMW? We made that transition with Mulder?
I think there's a significant demand in business for goats.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Very cool story.
Mulder from Okaloosa, Iowa. About a fish and a big, as you'll find at the mid-major level.
Best farmers in the world are from Iowa.
Darius Johnson with a bucket out of the timeout. That ends a 9-0 run for Purdue Fort Wayne between the end of the first half and the start of the second. Morton Robertson wisely decided not to challenge Chiam, but the Mastodons turn it over. That was 5'8", Quentin Morton Robertson being checked by 7'2", Mustafa Chiam. Corner 3, Debo Coleman knocks down the triple, and we're tied at 39. Bellows got Coleman on skates. Jackson baseline drive. Mulder mixing it up with Chiam. And it's a foul against Mulder. Ball will go back over to UCF.
I was surprised by that call. I don't agree with that call at all. Mulder went for the ball. I guess you could say there was a little contact around the legs of Chiam, but to me, that's a hustle basketball play that you play on, right?
Yeah, I thought for sure that would be a jump ball. Great effort from Mulder. It's his third foul, so he'll have to be careful. Reminder that UCF football back at it tomorrow against Arizona State. A great season the Sun Devils are having. One of the surprise teams in the Big 12. UCF off a phenomenal home win against Arizona with Dylan Risk now at quarterback. Should be an exciting game tomorrow. 7 o'clock on ESPN2 out in the Valley of the Sun.
Mustafa Chiam essentially jumped over Jalen Jackson there. That was wild.
And Chium got beat to the ball. D'Angelo Elise had it. His foot was out of bounds as he went to the floor, so it'll go back to UCF.
We're also got to be careful that just as appreciators of basketball that we don't take for granted for the fact that a 7'2" freshman without hesitation immediately dove on the floor to maintain possession on a loose ball. A lot of big guys are just too fearful of doing that.
I'd love to see that. Benny Williams blocked by Elise. Pinned the ball up against the backboard. Hadnot looking for space, rising up.
His game,
smooth
man.
Jumper for Corey Hadnot.
Like his game a lot.
6'3" sophomore from Atlanta. Coleman unable to hit the three. Good defensive rebounding from Purdue Fort Wayne. But the Mastodons give it up.
Darius Johnson played that perfectly defensively.
Johnson into the paint. Great lead, Benny Williams. Reminiscent of the bucket that Williams had Monday night to put UCF into the lead in the final minute. Morton Robertson all the way to the lane, uncontested layup. Mastodon 6 of 8 from the floor so far here in the second half. Bello, Morton Robertson 3. In and out. This is the pace at which both of these teams want to play. Great find from Keyshawn Hall. Ivy Curry unable to hit the three.
There's no question that UCF has gotten good looks from three in the second half. Just haven't fallen. UCF is currently 2 of 15 from the three-point line.
And a bit of a breather here with the shot clock under 10. Hadnot stepping through off the front rim. Hall had it slapped away. It'll stay with UCF. 14-11 remaining in the game. Purdue Fort Wayne and the Knights neck and neck early moments of the second half.
Thank you for bringing that up and trying to rub salt in a wound that will never fully heal.
Well, look, you generally have a very high opinion of yourself. It's good to be brought down every once in a while.
I don't have a high opinion of myself. I mean, my opinion of myself is below sea level.
As it should be, as far as I'm concerned.
Bello is good, though. Senior, he's really bought into the culture of the of what Coach Kaufman has created at Purdue Fort Wayne.
A good defensive energy from UCF. J.J. Taylor the steal, leaves it for Hall.
Unselfish play from J.J. Taylor in that 2-on-1 fast break.
And once again, Taylor providing a spark. Did the same thing on Monday night. Quick release. Trey Lewis knocks down the triple. His first three of the night. Williams quickly the other way, right up into the chest of Elise. Count it plus the foul.
That is the game of Benny Williams. Catch, rip, and attack the rim fearlessly. He is the best athlete on this UCF roster. And according to Charles Stevenson, the strength coach for UCF, he has the best combination of strength and quickness on the team.
I think it's the first time in history that we've had multiple Charles Stevenson references in the same broadcast, and I'm here for it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Or should do more of it as far as I'm concerned.
Challenge accepted.
Jackson misses for the Mastodons. UCF on the run. Hall rolls around and out. Jackson right back the other way. Got hit by Ivy Curry. No whistle. It's out of bounds to Purdue Fort Wayne.
What's interesting is it looked like a lot of contact. Ball and contact there, but Coach Kaufman wasn't walking down to the sidelines to argue with the call. He was making sure that his guys got up and run the play right away.
Hadnot attacking on Ivy Curry, up and over him. Hadnot's been great in that part of the floor tonight for Purdue Fort Wayne. Hall from the corner. UCF continues to be ice cold from 3, 2 of 16 in the game. Lewis stolen away. Darius Johnson initiating contact, and he's fouled.
May have been hard to tell watching the game, but live, Darius Johnson barely even bumped Hadnot and completely pushed Hadnot off his defensive line because of how strong Darius Johnson is. Darius Johnson doesn't even push off and pushes Hadnot off, I mean, at least 1.5 feet. And that forces Hadnot to have to go for the ball because he knows he's out of position, which causes the foul.
One of the things that I've enjoyed about watching Darius Johnson over the last 4 years is the development of him just getting where he wants to on the floor at any time. Great find, Benny Williams wide open underneath for a dunk to tie it at 48. Some backcourt pressure from UCF. Morton Robertson gets it across the midcourt line. And this is as loud as it's been tonight. Jackson with the turnaround, quiets the crowd. Big bucket for Jalen Jackson. Another missed 3, offensive rebound, Williams. Ivy Curry, no. And a foul against Purdue Fort Wayne as Hall had gotten position inside Futrell. Timeout on the floor, 11-12 to go. Benny Williams might be his easiest bucket. All a copia of basketball action that'll exist throughout the year on ESPN+. Plus you get to hear Mike and I doing some of the UCF games.
Get to hear Austin Lyon drop the word cornucopia. Just don't get that anywhere else in the country.
What a spin by Hall. A late whistle will put him at the free throw line.
I just think that's an excellent play call by Coach Dawkins and his staff. The threes aren't falling. They're 2 for 18 from 3. One of their best rim attackers is Keyshawn Hall. He's a mismatch nightmare for virtually every single team because of his ability to play on 3 levels offensively. The three-point line, the mid-range, and at the rim. Because of his strength and fearlessness, if you get him in ISO and you give him space, he can spin off a defender, he can go through a defender and get to the free throw line. If things aren't working, sometimes you just gotta get to the rim. It's a good play call.
2 free throws for Hall, 4th tie of the game, even at 50 as we come up on 11 minutes to go here in Orlando. Morton Robertson, left hand finish up and off the window from the diminutive guard.
Most of the time, Morton Robertson's taking threes, made over 105 threes last season. Second most in school history. Second in the Horizon League as well. Do you happen to know who he was second behind?
I do know who he was second behind. NCAA tournament legend, Jack Golke.
Wow.
From Oakland, the Golden Grizzlies.
Look at you.
Second chance for UCF. Darius Johnson's pass intercepted. In transition, Bello leaves it for Cutrell, and he'll be on the line.
There is, without a doubt, a fearlessness to Purdue Fort Wayne in how they attack and how they pass the ball, unafraid of the atmosphere. You can see the palm fronds in the background, which, by the way, in my opinion, is the most underappreciated student section in the country. You just don't get palm fronds and that kind of distraction anywhere in college basketball.
Fear the fronds is the mantra when teams have to shoot at that basket in the second half. And Texas A&M here on Monday night, 6 of 12 from the free throw line in the second half, shooting into that background. Cutrell goes 0 for 2, and Benny Williams clears it. Hall, aggressive drive right to the rim. No defense there for Purdue.
I mean, that's 6'7", a nimble tank. That's what Keyshawn Hall is.
Bello rises and connects for 3. Rasheed Bello with his second 3 of the game. Hall trying to go before he got possession of the ball. UCF fortunate to keep it. Hall underneath, up and through Cutrell, and a foul.
This is the fearlessness I'm talking about. It's middle of the shot clock, 14 seconds on the shot clock. You catch it in rhythm, you let it go. Rasheed Bello has done that consistently throughout his career. He's one of the best players in the Horizon League last season, 3rd team all-conference, averaged almost 15 a game. Started as a Division II player before transferring to Purdue Fort Wayne and Coach John Kaufman.
He played at Wisconsin Parkside, which is just south of Milwaukee. Coming up on 1,500 career points is Bello.
And you and I were talking off air, Austin, that this feels like the time, both offensively and defensively, for Darius Johnson to calm the ships offensively and defensively to turn up the pressure. And this is leadership time for your senior.
Johnson, 24 points, 5 assists here on Monday against Texas A&M. He's taken only 6 shots so far tonight. Chium altered that drive by Che Lewis, and now an opportunity in transition for UCF. Ivy Curry right to the rim. Off balance, he banks it in with a left hand. Tied for the 6th time, and once again the UCF crowd as loud as it's been all night. A foul on the rebounding action will keep it with Purdue Fort Wayne.
This is a crazy good pass from Darius Johnson. First of all, the hustle and dexterity by Chium to gather himself. Look at this pass. I mean, that is strength and pinpoint accuracy to a live ball pass like that. Such a coveted skill at the next level.
Great out of bounds play. Hadnot gets free and scores.
Excellent screening. Mahufsky did not communicate to Chium on the low block.
Johnson drops it off for Hall. Score it plus the foul. You wanted Darius Johnson to start to assert himself. That's assists on back-to-back possessions.
That is what you want from your leader and your point guard. Darius Johnson can score, no question about it. He's one of the best scoring point guards in the Big 12, period. But his ability to make plays, winning plays, without scoring is what's truly going to separate him from taking the next jump in his game this season. Back-to-back, fantastic plays from Darius Johnson.
Hall now with 12. He puts UCF back in front by a point. Purdue Fort Wayne has led most of the second half. Jackson hesitation. Left hand flip.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You want to talk about feet and body control.
Bello, quick hands. Ball's loose inside and scooped up by Mulder. Jackson
No way.
in a
No
hurry.
way. That pass just happened. Are you serious? Woo-hoo.
An incredible find. Had not with the finish. Purdue Fort Wayne quickly back in front. Hall underneath Chiam, the freshman.
Starting to get a little bit of rhythm right now in this game. Those last 4 minutes, both teams finally starting to come into their own. Turnovers have slowed down. Passing's increased. You're seeing more rhythm on the offensive end.
Mustafa Chiam, great looking stroke.
Yeah, energy transfer is really good. He's got a chance to shoot over 70% from the free throw line. You can use that to your advantage. I mean, he'll average 10 points a game if he's shooting over 70% from the free throw line.
Highest ranked recruit in program history, the only 5-star player to sign with UCF right out of high school. Mustafa Chiam calmly knocks down both 7 points, 5 rebounds for the freshman.
Zone defense for UCF. 2-3 matchup zone. That's what worked really well in the second half for against Texas A&M. They couldn't buy a bucket in the second half when UCF went to that zone.
Shot clock down to 5. Had not. Gets into 2 defenders.
They're back to man.
Bello has to let it go.
Oh!
And hits Coleman right in his face, and Bello drilled it from 27 feet. Every time UCF starts to build some momentum and the crowd gets into the game, Purdue Fort Wayne has the answer offensively. Hall lost his footing, nearly threw it away, gathered by Chiam. Jump hook is good from the freshman.
Wow. The patience in the post, kept the ball high, beautiful touch. Oh, man, that is good stuff.
Well, this is the type of offense we expected to see from these teams. Bello gets a step on Johnson. Can't bank it in. Chiam with the rebound. Still 6 minutes to go, but it feels like every possession is huge. Ivy Curry. What a find. Chiam on the baseline.
No way.
The freshman scored 6 in a row for UCF.
Did the 7'2" freshman just make a jump shot from about 5 feet from the rim?
We've seen 2 free throws, a jump hook, and now the short baseline jumper. Mustafa Chiam making it happen offensively for UCF.
11 points for Mustafa Chiam. 7'2" center, watch the patience, keeps the ball high, a little baby hook. You can't block that, Austin. And then look at this, right outside of the paint, a jump shot from the dunker position. Kid's having a great game. 11 points, 6 rebounds, and also, more importantly, not in foul trouble this game. Only 2 fouls. Chiam fouled out way before he should have in the game Monday night against Texas A&M. You can see there are spots of growth already just after 1 game from Monday, the improvement that Mustafa Chiam's made.
Played 22 minutes in the game against A&M on Monday night.
Barring anything unexpected happened, he's going to beat that number. He's already at 21 minutes.
Every time this has happened, UCF has tied it up. Purdue Fort Wayne has had the answer. 8 ties in the game. John Kaufman begging for a deflection on that three-point attempt from Nelson.
And Maximus Nelson was looking at the referee saying he tipped it. And the referee looked at him and said he missed it.
John Kaufman urging his kids to move on to the next play. Ivy Curry penetration. Chium, good catch by Darius Johnson. Hall really wanted it in the post. Settles for the jumper. Off the front rim, rebound had not. Chium out on the perimeter defending Cutrell. Jackson through traffic, he's fouled. That's the 5th team foul against UCF, so Purdue Fort Wayne not yet in the bonus. John Kaufman still waiting on Eric Mulder, leading scorer tonight for Purdue Fort Wayne, on the bench with 4 fouls.
Purdue Fort Wayne prides itself on high-level execution out of baseline, out of bounds. Those type of plays are like special teams plays in football. They usually do a lot of screen-to-screener action. Just initial little dribble handoff.
Jackson was looking for a foul call, didn't get it. Hall on the baseline, went up for a dunk, defended well by the Mastodons, and now a chance in transition. Jackson, corner 3. Off the rim, and the rebound by Coleman. Elise had to stay at the defensive end of the floor, never got his shoe came off, just got it back on as UCF brought it up the floor. Chium.
No way. That would have been, oh man.
Out of bounds to UCF. Final media timeout comes with 3:51 remaining in the game. We head down the stretch. Purdue Fort Wayne.
For UCF offensively, they are not shooting the ball well at all. It just happens. It's an off night from 3. They're 2 of 19, but at 3:51 left, Purdue Fort Wayne has 8 fouls. You're in the bonus. When in doubt, get to the free throw line.
Ivy Curry flips it up and in. Purdue Fort Wayne gave him a straight line drive. Ivy Curry able to go up and around Maximus Nelson.
Misdirection on the weak side by UCF gave the open driving lane.
Morton Robertson's 3 is long. Chance to extend the margin for UCF. Haven't led by more than 1 at any point in this second half. Ivy Curry, Chium, baseline, 15-footer! Is there anything this kid can't do? Bello rises up. An air ball rebounded by Coleman. The ball was deflected. UCF in the midst of an 8-0 run. Coleman, corner 3 doesn't go. Morton Robertson pushing for Purdue Fort Wayne. Able to somehow slip between defenders and bank it in. What a finish by Quentin Morton Robertson.
5'8", finishing in front of 7'2" Mustafa Chium. What a play.
Johnson stayed with it and scored.
Strength, toughness, leadership play from the senior Darius Johnson.
Timeout, Mastodons. That'll leave them with 1 remaining for the final 1:52.
They lift Keyshawn Hall, and then that baseline drive, cut by Debo Coleman opens up that driving lane for Johnson to get downhill to make that play. The spacing in the second half offensively for UCF far superior than the spacing and offensive flow in the first half that they had.
And the quality of shot that they've been able to generate consistently, we're seeing Darius Johnson, Jordan Ivy Curry, Keyshawn Hall all get the ball downhill and into the paint.
But you know who is reaping the rewards of those players attacking is Mustafa Chiem, who has gotten alley-oops, he's gotten mid-ranges. That 15-footer from the baseline is 7'2" players are not supposed to be able to make that shot. So now defenses have to worry about a 7'2" player making 15-foot jumpers on the baseline. What does that open up? What you just talked about. Darius Johnson, Jordan Ivy Curry attacking the rim.
And Purdue Fort Wayne has answered the call all night. What do the Mastodons have here in the final 2 minutes? Mulder steps out. Bello finding no space against Ivy Curry. Shot clock down to 5. Bello has to hoist. Off the backboard, what a defensive sequence by UCF.
Keep an eye on Mulder's got 4 fouls guarding Chiem. Does UCF look to exploit that?
Jalen Jackson nearly got around Hall for the steal.
Keyshawn.
68 seconds to go, 10 on the shot clock.
Keyshawn Hall's talking to the freshman. You got to throw it up. Throw that up. Don't throw a bounce pass every time. Throw it up in the mid-post.
Johnny Dawkins will spend a timeout. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. UCF is in the bonus. Knight still with a foul to give before Purdue Fort Wayne is in the 1-1.
And they also have possession. Possession arrow goes to UCF. Now, what you're seeing in the second half from the Knights, nobody's shooting the ball well from the perimeter at all from UCF. 2 of 20 from 3. But the intent on getting to the free throw line is there, and then executing at the free throw line is there as well. They're 20 of 27 from the free throw line. When things aren't working, you have to find other ways to make plays. Darius Johnson figured that out, then Jordan Ivy Curry figured it out, then Keyshawn Hall figured it out, and you keep going back to the free throw line, which coincidentally, when you're making your free throws, has slowed Purdue Fort Wayne down just enough because UCF gets to go into their soft pressure and work the shot clock down.
John Kaufman imploring his guys to come up with a stop. Shot clock down to 5. Backdoor cut, Ivy Curry, counted and the foul! Strong finish from Jordan Ivy Curry, and Eric Mulder fouls out on that play for Purdue Fort Wayne.
We talk about winning plays. It's not just about scoring the ball. Darius Johnson makes the right play, doesn't force the action, reads the backdoor cut from Jordan Ivy Curry perfectly, and drops another dime, his 5th assist on the night.
Mulder's night is done for Purdue Fort Wayne. Mastodons led 64-60 with 6:57 to go. Since then, they've managed only 2 points. UCF in the midst of a 12-2 run. The exact same figure they closed out Monday night's win against Texas A&M with. Ivy Curry buries the free throw. It's a 3-possession game under a minute to go. Morton Robertson passes up the 3. Jackson all the way in, got hammered.
That was really good execution from Purdue Fort Wayne. They got into their offensive set very quickly. There's a slight dribble weave at the top of the key with an intent. They were trying to get a quick 3. Didn't have it, but they didn't force a bad shot either. These types of possessions, under a minute left, you're down multiple possessions. If you don't have a 3, you got to get to the rim. Worst case scenario, you get to the free throw line, shot clock stops. These moments act as mini timeouts for Coach Kaufman and his team.
One more for Jalen Jackson. Able to hit both. And John Kaufman will get a sub to the table, allowing the Mastodons to set their defense here with 47.3.
Down 2 possessions, 47 seconds left. You know that you have to trap if you can. Can you get a deflection? Can you get a steal? If you can't get a steal, can you get a trap?
Hall just gets it into Darius Johnson.
Oh, what's that going to be? Yeah.
They say off Johnson's leg and out of bounds, and immediately you see the circle motion there from Darren George. The officials will go to the monitor and review it.
Darius Johnson's asking for a foul. That looks to be off Darius Johnson's left shin. Now he gets hit after the play.
Now you cannot review, for fans watching at home, if you see contact, they cannot call a foul during the course of the review.
The only time a foul can be called in a review situation is if they're upgrading it or looking for a flagrant type situation. You cannot go back to the monitor and look at it and say, no, that was a foul. You can upgrade a foul to a flagrant or look and see if there was a flagrant possibility. So really, ultimately, what they're doing, they're going to determine the best they can if the call stands. To me, the call should stand, that it went off Darius Johnson's left shin. They're also looking at the amount of time on the clock as well. You can change the time on the clock, add or take off.
So Chance Moore and Darren George evaluating the replay monitors over at the scorer's table. Right now, it's Purdue Fort Wayne basketball. That was the call on the floor. You're looking for irrefutable video evidence to potentially overturn the call, which we have not seen based on these replays.
Tough angle there. The first angle we got, it gave me pretty clear evidence.
And they're looking right now, the clock you can see in the lower left-hand corner, using the replay specifically to see how much time. Yeah, this is the one that shows that the ball clearly off Johnson's left shin.
Yeah, to me, that's, and the way it ricochets off that fast. Even if I was unsure, you can't overturn the call then, even if you're unsure. But that, to me, was off Darius Johnson. And I'm curious to see if they're going to put any more time back on the clock. Maybe 3 or 4 tenths of a second, potentially.
Up to about 45 seconds, based on what I saw on that replay. And we'll hear from Chance Moore.
After review, the call on the floor stands.
So now it is Purdue Fort Wayne ball, down by 5. Just got 2 free throws from Jalen Jackson, and it's a 2-possession game. Morton Robertson, traveling violation. Chium at 7'2", out on the perimeter, contesting against 5'8" Quentin Morton Robertson.
The contest, the recovery, one step for him is like 3 steps for any normal player. But that's a smart thing to do. Contest, don't give up a good look at 3 or your best, Purdue Fort Wayne's best 3-point shooter. Make him drive past you. It's the right play to make.
Into Ivy Curry. Hall across the midcourt line, fouled by Trey Lewis. It is double bonus for UCF, so it'll be 2 shots for Keyshawn Hall, and UCF will add to a significant advantage at the free throw line. Knights in the game 21 of 28. Purdue Fort Wayne is 4 of 7. UCF plus 17 points at the free throw line, make it 18. Hall 2 for 2. He's 8 of 9 at the line in the game. Bello in a hurry. Morton Robertson passes on a 3. Nelson off the mark. Rebound by Jackson. Clock down to 15 seconds. Bello off on the 3. Hall's got it, and that should do it with under 10 seconds to go. John Kaufman wanted his guys to foul. Hall's going to dribble it out. UCF once again owns the closing minutes here on their home floor, and they win it by the final of 75.